What are you watching?
What are you watching? Elodie, le film!
The infamous Centre Point Silom, Bangkok. A place where dreams go to die, and nightmares come to life. I'm still trying to process the trauma I experienced during my stay, but I'll do my best to relive it for you, dear listener. As I walked into the lobby, I was immediately struck by the eerie feeling that something was off. The air reeked of desperation, like the hotel was trying to cling to its former glory days. The decor was a confusing mishmash of styles, like someone had thrown up on the wall and called it eclectic. I should have known right then and there that I was in for a world of trouble. But I digress. I had booked a deluxe riverview room, expecting to be treated to a stunning panorama of the Chao Phraya River. What I got was a room with a view of, well, let's just say it was a view of a wall. A dirty, crumbling wall that seemed to be crying out for a fresh coat of paint. I mean, who promises a river view and delivers a wall? It's like promising a unicorn and delivering a used tissues. And don't even get me started on the air conditioning. It was like they had installed a faulty fan that blew hot air directly into my face. I swear, I've experienced more refreshing breezes in a sauna. But hey, at least it was consistent, right? Consistently terrible, that is. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me back up and tell you about the check-in process. It was like trying to extract water from a stone. The staff seemed put off by my presence, like I was an inconvenience they couldn't wait to get rid of. When I asked about the room, they just shrugged and muttered something about upgrades being available for a fee. Upgrades? Are you kidding me? I paid for a deluxe room, not a glorified broom closet. And then there was the internet. Oh boy, the internet. It was like they had taken all the leftover Wi-Fi signals from the 90s and mashed them together into a slow, painful, and torturous experience. I mean, I've seen faster download speeds on my grandma's dial-up connection. But hey, at least it was free, right? Free to annoy me, that is. But what really takes the cake is the service they provided. I use quotes because it was more like they were doing me a favor by deigning to speak to me. When I asked about the construction noise outside my window, they just shrugged and said it was normal. Normal? Are you kidding me? Normal is not having to wear earplugs to bed because of the incessant banging and drilling outside your window. Normal is not having to deal with a front desk staff that seems to be allergic to basic human decency. And don't even get me started on the TV. It was like they had raided a thrift store and cobbled together a Frankenstein's monster of a TV system. The signal was fuzzy, the remote didn't work, and the channels were all in Thai. I mean, I'm happy to learn a new language, but not at the expense of my sanity. You know what the cherry on top of this disaster Sunday was? The manager's response to my complaints. They basically told me that I was the problem, that I was being too picky, that I should just be grateful for the privilege of staying at their dump. Grateful? Are you kidding me? I paid good money to be treated like dirt, to be lied to, and to be ignored. That's not hospitality, that's hostage-taking. So here I am, dear listener, still trying to process the trauma of my Centre Point Silom, Bangkok experience. It's a place that takes the concept of hospitality and turns it into a cruel joke. A place where the only thing they're good at is taking your money and crushing your soul. What do you think, dear listener? Have you ever had a similar experience? Share your horror stories with me in the comments below. Let's make our voices heard and hold these hospitality hellholes accountable. The businesses surrounding Centre Point Silom, Bangkok. They're a disappointment. A quiet, sinking disappointment. It's not a place brimming with hidden gems, or delightful local experiences. It's a place where, quite frankly, you're often paying a premium for a letdown. The overall impression is one of extraction. A subtle, relentless attempt to take as much from you as possible, while offering as little in return. It feels like a carefully constructed facade, designed to lure you in, and then subtly, persistently, disappoint. It's a place that feels like it wants to take your money, and doesn't particularly care if you enjoy the transaction. Let's start with the larger establishments, those beacons of consumerism meant to impress. Places like ICONSIAM. It's meant to be spectacular, a modern marvel. But overwhelmingly, people feel trapped. A chaotic energy seems to permeate everything, from the frustratingly disorganized public boat service, where staff appear to actively delay passengers, seemingly for their own amusement, to the lack of basic courtesy within the mall itself. It's reported that pleasant interactions are rare, and it leaves a sour taste. It's a feeling of being unwelcome, of being a walking wallet. What does this say about a place aiming for international appeal? It suggests a lack of genuine hospitality, a calculated indifference to those fueling their economy. There's a certain icy coldness that seems to seep into every corner of the glossy exterior. And the water show? Forget romance. One visitor described a deafening singer, blasting dance music while they sought a peaceful evening. It's a misfire of epic proportions. Even a simple Starbucks there seems to fail, the coffee reported as tasting wrong. The pursuit of largest clearly eclipses the pursuit of good. The entire place feels manufactured, a sterile environment masquerading as vibrant culture. It's not a destination, it's a carefully curated trap. The reports of distressed animals in their exotic adventure area only deepens this sense of unease. It feels predatory, exploiting both consumers and creatures. The traffic alone suggests the planners didn't think this through. A beautiful building, collapsing under its own weight of ambition and poor execution. Then you have places like Let's Relax Spa, Sukhumvit 14. The promise of tranquility, the image of blissful relaxation. It's a mirage. The reviews paint a picture of a place that prioritizes profit over genuine care. Dirty towels, cold and unwelcoming. Masseuses lacking skill, appearing tired and uninterested. It's not a restorative experience, it's a perfunctory rubbing. And the aggressive attempts to solicit tips immediately after a treatment? A blatant disregard for customer comfort. It suggests a fundamental disrespect for the spa experience, reducing it to a purely transactional exchange. The reports from other branches being better, it suggests this particular location is an outlier, a dark spot on an otherwise reputable brand. Some report being scalded with hot water. It feels careless, a terrifying lack of attention. It's not a haven, it's a gamble. Moving on, Al Saray, Silom appears to be a particular source of frustration. The food, while sometimes decent, is overshadowed by consistently appalling service. Rudeness is the defining characteristic. Staff actively avoid interaction, seemingly resenting the presence of customers. It's not simply a lack of efficiency, it's a palpable sense of hostility. People report being lectured for simply asking for something reasonable. The arrogance of the staff is a recurring theme. The food itself is inconsistent, cold, or made with inferior ingredients. There's a distinct feeling they're targeting tourists, assuming they won't notice, or won't complain. They dare to charge a service fee for this level of disdain. A heartbreaking thing, to see someone's attempt at hospitality turn into something so thoroughly unpleasant. It seems the owners have lost sight of the core principle of a restaurant, to provide a welcoming and enjoyable experience. I feel a quiet sorrow for anyone who walks into that establishment expecting warmth and finds only coldness. And then there's Unicorn Cafe. Oh, the Unicorn Cafe. The internet promised whimsical delight, a pastel-colored paradise. What you get is decay. Old, dirty stuffed animals, peeling decor, a general air of neglect. It feels like a place that peaked years ago and hasn't bothered to update. The menu is limited, often unavailable. The food is overly sugary and processed. People report flies buzzing around, and even experiencing food poisoning. It's a faded dream, a tragic monument to Instagram trends. The concept was charming, yes, but the execution is heartbreaking. It's a place that feels profoundly sad. Oh my god, you know, I was looking into crimes near Centre Point Silom, Bangkok, and it's just like, so many scams, you know? It's crazy. So, there was this surrogacy scam, like, they found out that some people were holding Chinese men for ransom and using Thai surrogate mothers. And they even made fake passports and IDs, can you believe that? It's like, how could you, right? They got caught, thank God, but I'm like, what about the victims, you know? The Chinese men who got held for ransom, and the Thai surrogate mothers who got used. It's just so sad. I think what probably happened next is that the victims were so scared and humiliated, they didn't even know what to do. They probably felt so trapped and alone, you know? And the scammers, they probably got some money and then ran away, leaving the victims with nothing. It's just so unfair, you know? And then there are these common scams in Bangkok, like taxi and tuk-tuk scams. You know, drivers refuse to use meters or take tourists to unwanted shops for commissions. And sometimes, locals claim popular sites are closed and offer alternative, often fake, attractions. It's like, come on, can't they just be honest, you know? I think what probably happens is that tourists get so confused and frustrated, they don't even know what to do. They probably feel so ripped off and disappointed, you know? And the scammers, they probably just get away with it, making money off of unsuspecting tourists. It's just so wrong, you know? Like, I'm just so worried about tourists going to Centre Point Silom, Bangkok, and getting scammed, you know? It's just, be careful, guys. Guys, don't get caught up in these scams, they're just not worth it.